Hi, my name is Annika Dalla. I am 24 years old and I'm currently a Junior Showmanship judge for AKC and ASCA for the Australian Shepherd Club of America. I judge for juniors and I have been a part of the Junior Showmanship program in both venues, starting as early as when I was a peewee at 3 years old. Growing up in the world of dog shows has always been a fun hobby of mine, and I'm excited to share my knowledge with you today. And today we're going to go over some new and fun and exciting things, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. Today I'm going to go over the Australian Shepherd Breed Standard a little bit more in depth. I'm going to first show you what it actually looks like on paper and what you will see when Googling, and then I will show you a little bit more in depth of how to break it into pieces of the most common questions about the breed standard that you're going to need to know in a little clip that I have recorded separately on this video. So, with that being said, there are different parts to the breed standard. There's the introduction, general appearance, character, head and neck, the body and forequarters, hindquarters, coat, movement, gait, and then other disqualifications. The big thing that you need to know when you're reading this is what a disqualification, fault, and severe fault are. So I'm going to start with explaining what a disqualification is. Disqualification is something that disqualifies a dog from being eligible to enter the conformation ring. So these can be different things, and these are like very, very bad things that if a dog has it, then that shows that there's something genetically wrong with them, typically. And it is detrimental to the breed and very, very bad to the breed for them to have any of the disqualifications that I will list. Then you're going to have talk about a severe fault, meaning that these are heavily faults that are not allowed, but dogs still enter the ring, and these are heavily punished and are not really good things for a Aussie to have in the breed, and it is something that definitely you don't want to be carrying on into your next generations in your breeding program if you are doing any kind of breeding program, because they can, depending on which ones you're talking about, lead to disqualifications. Then you have a fault, and a fault is just something that is held against the dog, but it's a bad thing, but it's not like nearly as bad as a severe fault or disqualification. They can go in the ring, but the judge is supposed to hold that fault against them and not supposed to reward for them to be coming into the ring and allow them to win. Starting off with the introductory portion, the Australian Shepherd, or Aussie for short, is first and foremost a true working dog. It is not considered anything else, really, and anything that detracts from its usefulness is undesirable or not wanted. The most important breed characteristics that you need to know about is that they are of moderation in size and in bone balance with correct proportions and sound movement. Their general appearance is that they are a well-balanced dog of medium size and bone, is very tinted and animated, showing strength and stamina combined with unusual agility. So this is like typically involving their expression and like how they express their emotions, basically. They are slightly longer than they are tall and have a coat type of moderate length and coarseness, with coloring a variety and individual with each specimen, so with each dog. And identifying characteristics with his natural or bob tail. So this involves their tail length. And then each gender should be expressing male or female features and should be very well defined and be easily distinguished between both genders. Their character, the Australian Shepherd, is primarily a working dog with strong herding and guardian instincts. They are intelligent and exceptional companions. So they are a herding dog. They were bred for herding, and they are great dogs to be with family members and be good pets. They are versatile and very easily trained, performing their assigned tasks with great style and enthusiasm. They're reserved with strangers, but does not exhibit any shyness. This is unusually versatile stock dog. Works with power and quickness to control difficult cattle, as well as the ability to move sheep without unnecessary roughness. Although aggressive, authoritative worker, viciousness towards people or animals is not tolerated or intolerable. Moving into what their head and neck and body is supposed to be. The head is a clean cut out, strong, dry, and in proportion with their body. The top of the skull is flat and just slightly rounded in its length and equal to its width and length of the muzzle. The muzzle is of medium width and depth and tapers gradually to a rounded tip without appearing heavily or snippy. Or very straight and super flat is, in other words, what is it saying. The lips are close fitting, meaning meeting the mouth line. The top lines of the muzzles and skull top appear close to parallel, and the stop is moderate but well defined. So the stop basically shouldn't be super flat, causing their face to be very pointed or snippy. There should be able to see that the dog has a stop. For their teeth, though, they should have a full complement of strong white teeth in a scissors type bite. A level bite is a fault. Teeth are broken or missing by accident are not to be penalized. Other missing teeth should be faulted to a degree that they deviate from a full complement of full 42 teeth. Disqualifications are the undershot, overshot, and wry mouth bites. Their eyes are supposed to be very expressive and showing alertness and intelligence. They are clear, almond-shaped, of moderate size, and set a little obliquely, neither prominent nor sunken. The pupils are dark as well as defined and perfectly positioned. Eye color is brown and blue, amber, or any variation or combination, including flecks and marbling. All eye colors are acceptable in combination with coat colors. Faults are any deviation from almond-shaped eyes, so just the shape of their eye. With their ears are supposed to be set high on the side of their head, of a triangular shape, of a moderate size, and slightly rounded tip. The tip ear reaches no further than the inside corner of the nearest eye. At full attention, the ear should lift 1/4 to 1/2 inch above the base and break forward or slightly to the side. So this has to deal with the two main different types of ears sets that you will see, like a button or a rose ear, and how much they should lift-ish. Severe faults with their ears are pricked ears, overly large ears, low set ears with no lift from the base. Their neck and body is supposed to be firm, clean, and in proportionate with their body. Is medium length, slightly arched at the crest, setting well into the shoulder. So the crest is part of their neck, and you should refer to my anatomy video that I did on what part of the body that is, or Google it. The body is a firm but muscular. The top line appears level and at a natural 4-square stance. The bottom line carries well back with a moderate tuck up. The chest is deep with strong ribs sprung. This just has to do with more of how wide their body is, and like how that bottom part of their chest should slope up, but it shouldn't be so drastic and severe as compared to like a dachshund. The croup is moderately sloping. The loin should be a strong, broad when viewed from the top, and the tail should be straight and should not exceed 4 inches. Should also be the tip for the tail a natural bob, or it should be a docked tail as well. And there's different methods into docking the tail that you can also do, that you can ask me in person for other questions. Now I'm going to talk about the forequarters and the hindquarters as described in here. The shoulder blades or the scapula are well laid back, with the upper arm or the humerus slightly longer than the shoulder blade. Both the upper arm and the shoulder blade are well muscled. The forelegs are straight and strong, perpendicular to the ground with moderate bone. The point of the elbow is set under the withers and is equidistant from the withers to the ground. Pasterns should be short, thick, and strong, so that has to deal with their ankles and their wrists. But they should also be flexible and showing slight angulation when viewed from the side. Their feet are oval-shaped, compact, with close-knit and well-arched toes or digits. Pads are thick and resilient, and their nails short and strong. And they might have their dew claws if their front feet removed. And so that's what forequarters are referring to. It's referring to their front feet and their front part of their body, minus their neck. Their hindquarters are a width of hindquarters is approximately equal to the width of their forequarters at the shoulders. So how they should be evenly wide, both at their shoulders and their hips. The angulation of the pelvis and upper thigh or femur corresponds to the angulation of the shoulder blade of the upper arm. So that's just saying like both their rear end and their back end should be equal, and they should look equal in length. The upper and lower thighs are well muscled. Stifles are very clearly defined. Hock joints are moderately bent, and the metatarsi are short, perpendicular to the ground, and parallel to each other when viewed from the rear. So this is talking about their lower half of their leg, with their hock joints, their stifles, their patellas, and their metatarsals and their pasterns, part of that in that general area. Feet should be oval shaped as well on their hindquarters as well as their forequarters. Compact, close knit, well arched toes. Their pads are thick and resilient. Short nails are short and strong, and rear dew claws are removed. Sometimes when puppies are born for Aussies, they are born with rear dew claws, but those are required to be removed if they do end up with having some. So this is just talking fancy lingo of their angulation and what helps them being the best movers and the best looking dogs and the healthiest looking dogs for this breed. Next, we're going to talk about the last 4 things in the breed standard of the coat, color, gait, size, and other disqualifications. Their coat should be of medium length and texture with slightly wavy and weather resistant. That is a very crucial part of the Australian Shepherd breed, is that they are weather resistant, because they need to be able to work in majority of the weather types that we can have here. The undercoat it varies in quantity with the climate. So like if they live more up north, they tend to be thicker. If you live down here in like Texas, they tend to be a little bit thinner and not quite as fluffy. Of course, genetics have to play into that as well. Their hair should be short and smooth on the head and the outside of their ears. Front of forelegs and below the hocks are where the hair should be short. The backs of legs, so this is talking about their back legs, and or like on the back of one of their legs, they should be moderately feathered, and breeches or their feathers are moderately full. There is a moderate mane, so kind of like a lion's mane. There should be a little bit of one, but should be more pronounced in dogs or males than bitches. And bitches is just in this case another word for female dogs, so you will hear that a lot when you go to an ASCA dog show or just any dog show as a whole. The Australian Shepherd is a working and is shown to be with a natural coat. So that what that sentence is saying, that it is a working dog and that it does not have any product. Unfortunately, you will see me a little bit here and there, not much, not near as much as other exhibitors, putting in a little bit of product like hairspray, chalk, bonfire, water. There's other products that are out there that a lot of other professional handlers use that you're not supposed to use here in ASCA, that they use more in AKC and are able to get away with it more in AKC. Severe coat type faults are non-typical coats such as excessively long, overabundant, or profuse, a wiry coat, or a curly coat. So like a wiry coat, I want you to think of like a wire-haired schnauzer, and for a curly coat, I want you to think like a poodle. Like they don't want that type level of curly. For their colors, all colors are supposed to be strong, clear, and rich, so easily definable and recognized. The recognized colors are blue merle, red merle, or liver merle. In some other breeds, they call it liver. In Aussies, we call it red. Solid black and solid red, all with or without white and tan or copper points, with no order of preference. So it's just saying that you can, when you're asked this question about what are the 4 colors of the Australian Shepherd breed, you can say solid black, solid red, solid, and then blue merle, red merle. Like you can mix and match, whatever is the easiest way for you to remember that. The blue merle and the solid black are supposed to have a black pigmentation on their nose, lips, so their mouth, and their eye rims, so like kind of like eyeliner around their eyes. And the red merles are supposed to have a liver pigmentation on their nose, lips, and eye rims as well. A butterfly nose, Google that on what that actually is. It shouldn't be faulted under 1 year of age. If the dog is over 1 year old and still has a butterfly nose, then it is faulted. On all the colors, their surrounding of their ears and their eyes should be dominated by a color that is other than white. So not only are you supposed to have like their eyeliner, proper eyeliner color, but you're also supposed to have like actual marking around their eyes, because that can be a insight to where they might be blind in that eye or both eyes. With the lack of pigmentation around the eyes, they should also have pigmentation around their ears. If they don't have pigmentation on the ears, that could indicate that they might have deafness in one or both eyes. Getting back with more of reading this a little bit more, the hairline of the white collar should not exceed past the point of the withers. So they can have white on the white collar, but they cannot have any major amounts of white past their shoulders or their withers. So this is a disqualification fault. Any other recognized colors and white body splashes, which is what happens when you have a large white spot that is past their withers. That's what that is called. And a Dudley nose. A Dudley nose is like the lack of pigmentation on their nose. And all of them should have that. That could indicate some other health issues if their nose does not fill in with that liver nose or that black nose, depending on which of the colors that the dog is. Their gait should be smooth, free, and easy, exhibiting any agility, movement with a balanced natural stride, as speed increases both front and rear feet coverage equally towards the center line of gravity of the body. So this is just really talking how like it should be a very fluid movement, and it should come very natural to the dog. It shouldn't be where they're pacing and they're kind of like struggling to kind of walk, and this can also kind of gauge on there might be a health issue as well if they don't have this like smooth and fluid movement. The top line remains firm and level as they're moving around. When viewed from the side, trot should be effortless and exhibiting a facility of movement rather than a hard driving action. Exaggerating reach and drive and at the trot is not desirable. So this is where like overreaching happens with some of it. And then also gait faults should be penalized according to the degree of deviation from what is considered ideal. So you don't want the gait faults are overreaching, crabbing, open hocked, and cow hocked are the four main ones that are the gait faults or the also known as movement faults. Their size is preferred at the withers, which is where it's measured from the ground to the top of their withers. For males is 20 to 23 inches. And that for females is supposed to be 18 to 21 inches. However, their quality should not be sacrificed in favor of size. So this is saying right here is saying that it's okay if you have a girl that is like 22 inches at their withers, or a boy is like only like 20 inches at the withers. It's okay as so long as the quality makes up for their size, and is more along the lines of what is considered ideal or like the perfect Aussie. Other disqualifications are the monergism and septicism, and I'm just going to let y'all Google those and speak with your parents about those because those have to deal with boy dogs and reproductive parts that I don't feel comfortable in discussing any further. As I transition into the next clip, I wanted to talk to you guys and let you know that this is just a small portion of the breed standard of what you're going to need to know in this next following clip in this video that you're going to need to know. You're going to need to make sure you do your own research on your own time and just do your own reading and make your own flashcards. I do apologize for this video being so long, but this video is a very important video for you guys to know and understand on how to read a breed standard, which is what just was doing. And now I'm going to transition and show you what I'm going to pick and choose out of it and what is the most common questions that are getting asked in the Junior Showmanship ring at an ASCA dog show. In this part of the video, we're going to talk about common questions about the breed standard for Aussies that is asked in ASCA, or the Australian Shepherd Club of America. This part of the video is also to help you create your own flashcards. So you can write the question and then answer it with what I have highlighted to help you out as some of the most common questions about the breed standard. This is pretty much only about the breed standard. What is an Aussie bred to do? Well, that's simple. They're bred to herd livestock of all kinds. They were originally bred for cattle and sheep, but they are able to hurt other types of livestock as well. What is an Aussie's character like? They are versatile and easily trained. Versatile means that they are able to do many different things. They are reserved with strangers, but do not exhibit shyness. If they do exhibit any kind of shyness, that is considered a fault. What is an Aussie's general appearance supposed to be? They are a well-balanced dog of medium size and bone. They are attentive and animated, showing strength and stamina combined with unusual agility. They are proportionate in that they are slightly longer than they are tall. They have a coat of moderate length and coarseness with coloring. An identifying characteristic is their natural or docked bob tail. And I have two images of what they are supposed to look like, one with an Aussie with a full tail and one with a bob tail. What type of bite should an Aussie have? They are supposed to have a scissor bite. They should have all 42 of their teeth, but any that are broken or missing by accident is not to be faulted. Easiest way that I remember this is you use scissors to cut and do arts and crafts, and dogs use their scissor type bite to shred and cut into different types of meat. What type of bite is faulted in the breed? And it's only a fault, it's not a disqualification. It is a level bite, which means the top and the bottom are like even with each other. And in the next slide, you will see what that's supposed to look like comparing to the different other types of bites. What types of bites are disqualifying in the breed, which are overshot, undershot, and wry mouth. An overshot means that the top teeth come over the front teeth. An undershot mouth means that the bottom teeth stick out in front of the top teeth. A wry mouth means that the bottom teeth are off-centered. And the bottom is what is showing what is correct for the Aussie in the scissor bite, and what an overshot bite looks like, level and undershot, as well as the wry mouth. The way that you can tell that the wry mouth is a wry mouth is where their bottom jaw is kind of crooked, and you can only really tell that it is a wry mouth from the front. How many total teeth should an Aussie have? They should have 42 teeth. I have 4 canines teeth, and these are the largest teeth that are towards the front of the mouth, with 2 of them on top, 1 on each side, and 2 on the bottom, again, 1 on each side. That is the extent that you really should know at minimum, but you also should know how many incisors, premolars, and molars that they should have, as just an extension part of it, in case you are asked where and what they are and how many. They have 12 incisors, which are the very front teeth. They have 6 on top and 6 on the bottom. They have 16 premolars. These are the teeth that are directly right behind the large canines, with 8 on top and 8 on the bottom. And then their molars, they have 10 of them, which are in the very, very back, and they have 4 on the top and 6 on the bottom. What eye colors can an Aussie have? They can have all the eye colors of brown, blue, amber, or any variation or combination, including flecks and marbling, are acceptable within the breed with all the different 4 colors of the breed. So hopefully you were able to take some good notes and follow along with that video, part of the video, and pause if you needed to. And I hope that it answers more of y'all's questions on how to do different things within the breed and what questions you might face. Hopefully you were taking really good notes, maybe even are able to turn those notes into flashcards, like I hope you guys are doing. And now you will have all the information for you to be ready for your next dog show for ASCA. Look forward to see you guys next at training, and hopefully you guys are having a great evening and a great day as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next one.